Hi, Statesman Nation. We are here with Coach Todd Hafner for Week 10. Only two left, Coach.
Two left.
Yeah, of the 2019 season. So before we talk about the first year pride, I'll recap the Bobcats of Peru State last week. Unfortunate, disappointing day for the seniors.
Yeah, it really was, and we look back on it, and we started so good, and
yeah, definitely.
we drove the ball right down the field and scored, and then we went out on the field and stopped them, and then it just kind of went downhill from there. We just didn't play very good, and we can take a lot of the blame for that. I think that it's one of those things where it's our responsibility to make sure that our guys are ready to play. And I felt like, and I think we felt like after the game that maybe we overlooked them just a little bit. We got ahead and everything was going fine, and then we kind of let our guard down a little bit, and they got a little bit of momentum. And unfortunately for us, we just couldn't get back over the hump. And we had some turnovers again. It's 2 weeks in a row with Grandview and now Peru, and so that's been our demise. When we turn the ball over, we have a hard time winning games, and when we don't turn it over, we don't have a hard time. And so I think it's important that our kids stay focused, that we focus on the little things. We weren't very detail oriented, and it led to some things that hurt us. And so we'll try and be better. Again, I love our kids right now just because that we've had a great week of practice.
Right.
I know it seems like I say that every week.
Well, yeah, and I mean that was one of my next question. How was the week of practice? Coming off of that, I mean it's got to be very deflating. Could have been very deflating.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, it was, and the kids were disappointed after the game, and we were disappointed after the game as coaches. And you just have to do your best. And our kids are mentally tough. I'll give it to them. They want to do well. They want to play well. They want to do the right thing. And right now, their practice habits are good. I think, as weird as it sounds, I think we're continuing to get better. I think that, our young kids are getting better. Our older kids are wanting to still play well. And so I give a lot of credit to them. They've showed up this week, and we had a great week of practice. And, we'll hopefully take that, and it translates into a win on Saturday.
Right, definitely. Let's talk about Clarke again, first-year program coach. Miguel Regalado.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Regalado.
Yeah.
Came from Baker, very successful program, and obviously starting anew. So there's a ton of freshmen.
Yeah.
I think we were talking about maybe only a handful of guys that are not freshmen listed on their 2 deep, which that's a whole lot of individuals.
Right.
So they're building from the ground up, but they've already picked up 2 wins, including that Peru State team that unfortunately we lost to last week. So they're maybe not, they're a first-year program that you just don't know what you're going to get out of because they're going to be up and down and inconsistent because of all those freshmen. But what are you seeing on film?
Well, Coach Regalado's a good coach. I mean, he had great teams at Baker, and he's been there now for 2 years recruiting the type of the players that he wants in his system, and you can tell that they're good football players. They're just young, and against Peru that day, they controlled the football. They got first downs. They made big plays when they needed to. Their receivers and running back all made plays. On defense, they caused some turnovers. And and then you look at the next week, and they just didn't do some of those things against Culver. But Culver's a good football team. I think that you look at Clarke, and they've done a lot of good things. They're getting better. I think offensively they have 2 juniors, and defensively they have 3 juniors. Everybody else is a freshman or redshirt freshman, and so he's trying to do it the right way. He's trying to build the program from the ground up. They have a ton of players on their sidelines, just from looking at it on film, and so their scheme is good. Their coaches are good. If we don't go play well and we don't go play with a different kind of spirit on Saturday, it could be a long day because they have a plan in place. Their kids do everything they can to execute the plan. Evangeline beat them 28-0, and so they didn't have a lot of offense that day, but defensively they played really good, and so we'll have our hands full. There's no question about it. We've got a bus trip tomorrow morning that we'll get on the bus, and it's a little bit of a trip, so as a coach you always kind of worry about that, but our kids have handled that before. I think more of it's just us going and being us and being spirited and having some energy and having some fun, and if we can go do those things, then I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, break down their offense just a little bit. It looks like they pass considerably more than they run, and they spread it out to everybody. If I counted right, 15 different individuals have a catch. So you don't really know who to key up on. There's a few guys that have well over 100 yards, so those are obviously their favorites. But there's a lot of guys that come in and make plays.
Well, their quarterback does a really nice job of throwing it to the open guy.
Yeah.
And so that's one thing that's a little concerning, because if you blitz him and play man and someone gets beat, he finds them. If you're playing zone, they sit in a hole and they're open, he finds them. And so that's what they do a really good job of. And I think that it's going to be important for us to cover men, not areas.
Right.
And I think I've watched we've been inside this week quite a bit, so I've got to watch the defense practice, and according to Coach Norberg and Coach Ybarra, Wednesday's practice was as good as practices maybe we've had all year. And so I think our kids, they want to do well, they want to win, they want to do all those things, and they're doing what they have to, and they're practicing hard and watching film and doing those things. But if you're not careful, teams like this control the ball on you, a lot like Graceland did on us in the first half. And your kids kind of get tired, they get down on themselves a little bit, and you got to overcome some things. And so hopefully we can get on and off the field defensively and offensively. Hopefully we can control the ball a little bit and get some momentum. And I think if those two things happen, we'll put ourselves in a good spot.
Okay, let's talk about defensive sides. All right, you're kind of wrapping things up quick on me, but I just want to talk defense. Like, obviously they give up a lot of points. Doesn't mean they're a bad team, but again, they're freshmen. So
well, they are, and they didn't give up very many points to Peru. And you look at Peru, and they do a lot of the same things we do. Right. And so their plan is a lot like what Baker has done and Benedictine have done to us in the past. We've struggled against that a little bit, to be honest with you. So we've done some things that can hopefully help us a little bit. Even though we beat Baker this year, we didn't just score a ton of points. Right. And so it is a little concerning going in, but again, we've tried to do some things. Maybe have to throw the ball a little bit more to open some things up, but I think we have a good plan in place, and our kids have had a good week, and hopefully we can go execute.
Yep, definitely. All right, 1 o'clock start up in Dubuque against Clarke. It's at Dalzell Field, which is on the campus of Dubuque Senior High School. Yes. So looks like a really, really beautiful
I Google Earthed it yesterday, and it was still dirt, so it's all brand new,
Right,
so it's that's how new it is. It's a nice complex and a nice facility, and should be a great day for a game.
Yeah, well, safe trip up there.
Thank
and
you.
Best of luck. So once again, check the team out. We'll have all the links on statesmanathletics.com. So best of luck, Coach.
All right.